Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing a second card featuring the brand new Celebrate stamps, stencils, dies, and washi from Pinkfresh Studio. This is a part of their brand new October release. I am using some of the leftover pieces from yesterday's card. So if you haven't already checked that out, I will throw up a card in the upper right-hand corner so you can check out that video, because I'm going to show you how to do multiple colors of ink blending on the same stencil without masking in that video. So I'm not going to make you sit through all of the stamping and the stenciling again like I did yesterday, but I am going to show you the basics of this. The stamp set I'm using today does have a coordinating washi, and the washi coordinates with the one-piece die as well. So you can pick up the washi, the stamp set, and the die, and you're going to be sure that they all work together, as well as that stencil set. I'm going to start by heat embossing this entire one-piece stamp onto some vellum. So I prepped the surface using a powder tool. I inked up using some Versamark ink, and now I'm going to press that stamp onto the vellum piece. And I'm just using my Pinkfresh Studio stamp press tool to make sure that I apply even pressure over this large surface area of the stamp. Now I did that same thing on some Hammer Mill smooth white cardstock, and then I hit both of those panels with my heat tool so that I have my gold heat embossed images ready for stenciling. Now, as I mentioned before, I shared all of the stenciling in yesterday's video. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out if you want to see all the colors and everything, how I blended all of these. But when I blended this entire panel, I had a ton of images and I had enough to make 3 cards. So I'm sharing a second card featuring these individual balloons that you're seeing me kind of blend right now, instead of the balloon cluster that's in the upper left-hand corner. So when I completed all of my stenciling, this is what my images look like. They are absolutely beautiful. And then I took that one-piece die that coordinates with this one-piece stamp. I lined it up over my images and ran that through my Gemini Junior. By the way, I have the brand new pink Gemini Junior. It is fabulous, and I really do feel like, maybe it's my imagination, but I'm not real sure. I do feel like the motor or whatever makes it go on the inside is a little bit quieter than my previous Gemini Junior. So I'm really happy with it, and it's pink, so it's like right up my alley. So once all of my images were die cut, I went ahead and die cut the coordinating vellum piece as well. These are really just for layering accents. I didn't add any color to them. I thought it would kind of add just a little bit of kind of an ethereal vibe to these if they were kind of layered up. And you can see I took all of my individual balloons and kind of laid them out on my desk and kind of figured out my layout ahead of time. I knew I wanted to create a mini slimline card, and so I just added a piece of the Spellbinders tape to hold those all together so I could kind of move them as one piece. Now, to create my mini slimline card base, I cut my cardstock to 6.5 inches by 6.25 inches. Now, I'm also going to create a card front for this mini slimline size card. So I am cutting this piece of cardstock to 6 inches by 3 inches. Now, here's that piece of cardstock that I cut for my card base. So along that 6.5 inch edge, I'm scoring at 3.25 inches, and then I'm folding that and reinforcing that fold with my Teflon bone folder. So my finished card size is 3.25 by 6.25 inches. This is a great size. I think it's so much fun. And I'm just taking that panel that I created for my card front, and I'm blending on a little bit of the Pinkfresh Studio Mint ink using a blending brush. This is just going to give it kind of a little bit of shadow and shading coming out from those balloons. Now I'm taking my balloon piece that I have temporarily held in place with that Spellbinders tape, and I'm just adding some liquid glue between the layers to hold all of those balloons together and secure. So I have both the vellum and the white cardstock stenciled versions of those. And then I'm going to take and add some foam adhesive to the backs of these balloons just on the white portions. Now here is where I'm gonna just mess everything up. And really, I messed it up before. You just didn't know it until now. So I took the backer off. I added this to my card front. And now that I have all those pieces adhered and secured in place, I'm going to remove this tape. Now, this is where I ruin everything, right here. The ink on my stenciled areas was not dry. And so when I added this tape, it really just peeled up the cardstock when I peeled it off. So I did have to go back and re-stamp and stencil some of these balloons, and I just glued them right over the top. So I make mistakes too. I know we all make mistakes, and I just wanted to remind you today that everything is fixable. Don't give up if you run into a little kind of snafu on your card. Figure out a workaround, which is what I did here, just by stamping and stenciling a couple more balloons. Some of them fared that tape just fine. They were just fine, but some of them really needed to be replaced because they were torn in the center. Now, I could have tried to ink blend over that area, but the cardstock was really roughed up, and I don't think that would have quite worked. So I went ahead and just stamped and stenciled them again, and I got more stenciling practice out of it. So what do you know? Now I went ahead and heat embossed my sentiment onto some white cardstock using the Brutus Monroe Gilded Embossing Powder, and I die cut it using the coordinating die that's in the die set. And I stacked up a couple of layers of that white die cut behind it to give it some dimension. I'm just adding that onto my card front using a mixture of foam tape and liquid glue. And then I'm gonna add some of these brand new Pinkfresh Studio glitter drops. Absolutely love them. This is the gold color here. They have a variety of sizes within the pack, and I've just sprinkled a few of them here on my balloon cluster, and that completes my second card today, featuring just one stamping and die cutting. Well, technically two because I messed up. But if I would have done it right the first time and let those dry, I would have only had to stamp and stencil and die cut these one time and get 2 or 3 cards out of all of these images. Now, this card project is a part of an Instagram hop celebrating Pinkfresh Studios' October 2022 Washi stamp, stencil, and die release. So be sure to join me over on Instagram for all the fun, the prizes, and the inspiration. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube, or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. I wanted to take a moment and just thank you for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I am so glad you are here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on YouTube so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. I would love it if you would say hi to me in the comments below. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.